What up, folks? It's your pal, Coach Vino, and this is the Glass Half Full podcast where we turn setbacks into comebacks. Let's go.
Yo, everybody goes through setbacks, but don't let these setbacks make you take a step back. Step back from the situation, put your brush down, envision the picture you're faith in, because everybody goes through setbacks.
All right. Welcome back to the podcast. I am Coach Vino, the people's bartender, your certified coach from the Boogie Down Bronx. I hope all of you are well since the last time we hung out. Things are great on Vino's side of town. Enjoying these last few warm weeks of summer. At least while I'm recording this, it's still summer. And just really looking forward to a fall season, hanging out with the family and doing fall stuff. I'm a bit of a fall groupie. I love all of the apple cider stuff and all the pumpkin spice stuff. Yeah, I know. What am I going to do? Anyway, guys, today I want to talk about something I think all of us can really relate to. And that is this idea that hindsight is 20/20. Now, what exactly does that mean? Well, hindsight 20/20, that whole concept is the idea that something that you've done in the past, if you had done it differently, that things would be better now, right? Of course, if you knew that back then, you wouldn't have done it. So that's why hindsight is 20/20. You would have seen things, you see things more clearly now after it's all done. And unfortunately, it's something that really can linger in our ability to appreciate what we have now or moving forward. We tend to have a little bit of regret or remorse about some of the decisions that we've made in the past. Dealing with hindsight and the realization that things could have been done differently, it could be challenging. And we have to be able to address these things in an effort to move forward with our goals and our ambitions. Otherwise, we're always looking behind, and you can't get anywhere if you're looking behind. You're really just going to bump into walls. So some of the ways that you can do this is what I want to talk about today, okay? And one of the first things you can do is to acknowledge your feelings. Recognize and accept these emotions that you're feeling, whether they're regret, guilt, or frustration. It's natural to feel this way when reflecting on past decisions. If everything we did and every decision we made was perfect, we wouldn't have these feelings. But we're going to make mistakes, or we're just going to do things in a way that maybe aren't ideal, not necessarily mistakes, lessons, right? We can look at them as lessons. But it's important to acknowledge these feelings, these emotions, and say, you know what, I feel kind of shitty about it, and it's okay. And that's okay. But I'm not going to dwell in it. I'm not going to sit in these feelings. I'm just going to acknowledge them and do what I need to do to move forward. All right. Another thing you can do is learn from these experiences. Like I said, there's no mistakes. It's just lessons. Use hindsight as a learning tool. Analyze what went wrong and why. And this can help you make better decisions in the future. If you just dwell on the mistake and not why you did it and what were the results of it, then you're really not learning anything from it. If you touch something that's hot, you immediately learn not to touch that thing again, right? And that's how you have to look at mistakes in life. Now, another thing you can do is to practice some self-compassion. Be kind to yourself. I'm such a big proponent on that. You guys know I like to talk about, negative self-talk and, the ways to avoid doing that. Being kind to yourself is just as important. Remember that everyone makes mistakes, and it's part of being human. If you were a robot, maybe you wouldn't make mistakes. But even artificial intelligence makes mistakes. Sometimes they put something in ChatGPT, and I'm like, what the hell is this? You know what I'm saying? So, we all make mistakes, and you've got to have some self-compassion. Avoid harsh self-criticism. Be good to yourself. Another thing to do is to focus on the present and the future. Instead of dwelling on the past, focus on what you can do now. Set new goals and create a plan for moving forward, right? You can't fix what happens in the past. You can't change what happened in the past. So all you can do now is look forward, set new goals, and make great things happen for yourself. Like I said, what we do on this podcast, we turn setbacks into comebacks. We don't just sit there and say, oh, well, life sucks. I guess this is it. No. We get back up and we kick ass again, because that's what life is all about, right? You can also seek support. Talk to family, talk to friends, a therapist, a coach. Share your feelings. They might be able to offer some perspective and support that can really help you in moving past these feelings of regret, guilt, or frustration, or whatever you might have about decisions that you've made in the past. Don't be afraid to reach out. You know who it is in your life that you can go to. Go to them. Or find an objective person like a coach or a therapist that's going to listen to you and give you a very honest and concise feedback. Another thing to do is make amends if possible. If your past actions, your past decisions affected other people, consider apologizing to them and making amends. This can help elevate these feelings of guilt and provide some closure for you. Sometimes all it is a phone call or a text or an email or a cup of coffee or a drink where you can say, listen, I feel shitty about this. I don't want to feel that way anymore. And even if they don't necessarily forgive you, at least you know you got it off your chest. You did what you need to do. And you can move on and let them hold that. All right? Trust me, sometimes it's as simple as just saying, I'm sorry. It can go a long way. Another thing you could do is to practice mindfulness. So this is a really good one, guys. Mindfulness techniques can help you to stay grounded in the present moment and reduce, this rumination on past events. Things like meditation, yoga, box breathing, which I am a big proponent of. Anything that you can do to help you stay present in the moment can go a long way towards stopping you from dwelling on things that you cannot change. Trust me on this one. I think you heard my email go off. I'm not editing that out. I got no time. All right, the next thing you could do is reframe the situation. Try to see the positive aspects of this experience. Right? Not everything that goes wrong is completely wrong. What strengths or skills did you develop as a result of these things? Maybe something that you did that didn't quite work out right actually taught you something. Maybe you developed some sort of skill set from it. How has it shaped you into the person you are today? Maybe that mistake has taught you something so that you are now a better person. Okay? Reframe it. It's not all bad. It's not always all bad. And another thing is you can accept this imperfection. Recognize that perfection it's not attainable, no matter how hard you try. Mistakes are a natural part of growth and learning. This is what it is. If you're seeking perfection, you're going to have a whole lot of mistakes to dwell on. There's no such thing. Okay, the perfect decision is the one you make. All right? And then finally, set some realistic expectations for yourself. Understand, that you made the best decision you could with the information and resources that you had at the time. All right? Doesn't mean you made the right decision, but that you made the best decision you could under those circumstances. And maybe even at that time, you knew there was a better decision to make, but for whatever reason, you decided to make that decision. Maybe it was under duress. Who knows? But you made the decision, the best decision you could at that time, under those circumstances. And you can't feel bad about that. All you can do is the other 9 things I said. All right? You can accept your feelings, learn from the experience, practice some self-compassion, focus on the present and the future, seek some support, make amends, practice mindfulness, reframe the situation, and accept these imperfections. And if you take life that way, period, you'll find you'll have a whole lot less regret. Hindsight won't be 20/20. Hindsight won't be shit. because you won't be dwelling on the past. Instead, you'll be working on making plans for a brighter tomorrow and a better future. So, listen, if you adopt these strategies, you can really transform hindsight from a source of regret into an opportunity for growth and self-improvement. And that's what we're all about here. So I hope you found today's podcast helpful, guys. If you or anyone you know would like to work with Coach Vino, you can visit my website at coachvinollc.com, or you can just hang out with me on social media where I share my love for motivation and libations. And until next time, remember, folks, if nobody else tells you, Coach Vino appreciates you. Cheers.
Sometimes I find it hard to reveal these thoughts and express what I'm feeling in a hip-hop form. But I was born to succeed, so as long as I breathe, ain't nobody on this earth gonna crush my dreams. Yo, this might be the end of the verse, but this is just a start.